Hey, what is up, guys? Blivious here, and today we are going to be doing a comparison, or like a versus video, I guess you could call it, of two different payloads in the Infinite Warfare beta, but eventually going to be the game, because if you know, you can only use 3 out of the 6 combat rigs right now in the beta. They're not giving us like full access, obviously because it's a beta, and they just want to like give you like a little taste into the different combat rigs you can use. So the two we're going to be comparing are the EQUALIZER and the ERASER. I think these are by far the best two payloads that you can use right now in the beta. I don't really know of the other ones. Obviously, the 3 combat rig ones, but these I think are the two top ones. I know the Vortex gun, which the Vortex, I think it's called like the Vortex something. It's basically a black hole gun. That one's good for like objectives, but I think that's actually like the worst out of all the ones that I've seen like people use, I guess, in the beta, because like it is really good, but like it's only good if there's a bunch of people ganged up together, and like you can't really like just use it and then like you're gonna get a few kills out of it, because like it shoots really slow and stuff like that. But and then there's also the Steel Dragon, which I think is a very close third, right behind one of these guns. I obviously have my own like opinion on which 3 are the best. Obviously, you could think completely different, like the top 4 or something like that. But I'm kind of going into this video knowing which one at the very end of the comparison, I guess, or the versus episode, I'm going to pick. Like I already know basically which one I want, because I think one is actually way better than the other one. But these I think are the top 2. So there is definitely like a few things you could say about each that like kind of like are good and bad about the, like, better than the other one or like worse than the other one at each other. So first, we're going to be talking about the EQUALIZER, which is dual integrated machine guns with built-in suppressors for close quarters combat. So basically, there are 2 little machine guns that you get that are obviously silenced. As I said, it says in the description they're suppressed, and you get 84 rounds like per use, I guess you could say, of the payload, which could go a long way, or it could go like I guess not a very long way. I guess you could say like, if you pop it and you get like a kill with it, like, and you can't find a lot of people between your first and second like kill, like, or encounter, I guess you could say, you could use a lot of like your bar, like your little like percentage of your usage you have left of it, because like as you like start getting more and more kills with each like payload and specialist weapon or whatever, your percentage like decays like quicker and quicker and quicker as you're doing better with the weapon. So like yeah, so if you really want to get like a lot of kills, like the clips you'll see, like sometimes like you see like 6 or 7 kills, they kind of just have to be like really quick clustered up kills. But like usually you can shoot, even with like the 84 and like the thing going quicker and quicker, even if you like find like the average person like pretty quick, like not even that quick, but like just like a normal, I guess like a normal pace you would find in the game, like you could probably get like 3 or like I would say like probably 3 to 5, I guess you could say, like kills with this weapon, which is very good, I think. And then yeah, so this gun basically, like, you don't even have to like, the one thing that I was so confused like about when I started using this, I thought you would have to do like you'd have to hold down like left trigger or something like that to make your gun a little bit more accurate, because like if you remember Black Ops 3, if you play Black Ops 3, the scythe, which is basically like a death machine, it was like if you wanted to just hip fire with it, it was like really inaccurate. But if you wanted to actually like have very accurate shots and just start like melting people, you had to press LT. But then your guy like kind of moved slower, like when he was aiming in, he couldn't like walk around like strafe as fast. But like this game, like literally you just like, you see a guy and you have this little like white circle with little like things going around it, you literally just hold an RT and it just starts completely melting people. Like, it's actually crazy how good this thing is. Like, literally every time I used it, if you were playing on like the small map, like I think it was called Frost, like the little small like base or whatever, you were guaranteed like 5 or 6 kills, just because like it's so clustered and you could literally find people so quick, and like the gun just completely mows people down. Like, honestly, I think they should honestly like nerf it a little bit, like once the actual, between like now and when the actual game comes out, just because I think it's that good, like, honestly, because it's just like, if you had to aim in like a scythe, like, I think it would be a little bit better, like the way like you did in Black Ops 3. Like, you can't just like run around hip firing all the time with like just literally running around holding an RT. And on top of that, the Synaptic, which is the character, like the combat rig you have to have it with, he's already like really fast. So like literally you can just run through people. Like, you're a single man like wrecking crew. It's wild. So the next thing we're going to be talking about is obviously the ERASER. The ERASER is by definition an experimental energy-based handgun that blasts victims into a cloud of mist. This gun, definitely out of the 2, is the cooler one, for the simple fact that you'll see in the gameplay is that when you shoot someone, they completely evaporate, their atoms are deatomized, and they just disappear into a cloud of like Cheeto dust. It's absolutely sick the way it happens. The only like weapon, I guess, like the payload that I think is cooler would be the vortex weapon, which is like basically the black hole gun. Just because I love the fact that it sucks like corpses and like everything on the map just like in towards it, and like people and stuff like that. That gun's like honestly just sick to use. Like I don't think it's not always like super effective like these two guns are, but I think it's very sick. But this is definitely the cooler one of the two. But that doesn't always mean it's the most effective, because this is like more of like a, if you play Black Ops 3, it's more of like an Annihilator with by the Seraph, which was like it was basically a gun that was like a one-shot gun, but you could also get collaterals, and I think you got like 6 shots or so, and you had a but between each shot you had to like cock back your little thing on the back of the gun. I don't know actually what it's called, but you had the time between shot because you had to cock it back. This weapon, the Eraser, is like there's no time really between shot at all. Like you can just fire off your bullets like bang 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 bang. But when I'm looking on the website for like Call of Duty like Wikipedia or something like that, it says you only get 5 rounds, but in these clips you get way more than 5 rounds. Like I think maybe it's only like 5 hit shots. But you get to like, as long as you're not hitting the shots, I think you can fire like a bunch until your little like bar, as I said, was talking earlier about, like it just runs out, I guess. But I'm pretty sure like the max kills you can get with this weapon, from what I've seen, is like the max is like 5 or 6, and that's like if you're very lucky and people happen to like line up. This also does go a little bit slower, like as you get kills, like the bar like kind of deteriorates a little bit slower. So like these, like you have a better chance, I guess you could say, of getting like the 5 or 6 kills than you do with the equalizer, because like that, if the people aren't clustered up, you probably will only get like 3. Like I would say like I said, like 3 to 5 or somewhere between that. But this weapon you can get like 5 or 6. But I think it's obviously this gun's also like there's more of a skill gap with this gun, because that gun's a lot easier to use, because you literally all you have to do is run and make sure they're in your like huge little target area, and then just hold an RT and it just destroys them. This weapon is like more of like a precision weapon to use. Like it's not as hard as like if you play Black Ops 3, obviously I'm gonna keep going to Black Ops 3 just because it's the most recent COD. It's not as hard as I guess like the Annihilator or the Sparrow, because those were like super precision. If you miss by like even like a pixel, like you did not get the kill. But the Tempest, I would say it's more like the Tempest, where like the hitbox or something like that is just huge. Like you can probably fire with the Tempest, you could fire like a foot away from the dude and it would still hit him. Like that gun was just wild. Like the hit detection was just crazy for that gun. Like it was kind of like just random all the time. But this gun I think is a little bit less than that, but it's still like some of the clips you'll see, obviously, like the people aren't completely hitting the person like when they're jumping through the air, like, and I don't know, but they're still getting like the kill. So like sometimes I think the hit detection is not always like completely perfect, but I think it kind of like it makes it a little bit easier for the player to use. So there is a little bit of skill gap here. So like I guess like the final comparison you could say like is like if you're really accurate and you're gonna like consistently just know exactly where the enemy is, like you might want to use the Eraser, just because like that's like, I think it says 5 kills, but I'm pretty sure there's a clip that I had where the guy gets 6 kills. Like, but the Wikipedia says there's only 5 clips in a mag, but there's definitely more than that. Like shots like being fired in the beta. I don't really know. Only with the skill gap, like even me, like I would consider myself an above average player. I'm going to use the equalizer just because I think it's so much better, because it takes such a skill to use, and it's just like better in sticky situations. Like there's not many situations where I would rather prefer the Eraser to the equalizer. Like the equalizer can save you in like any situation really. Like I can't think of a single situation except for maybe like you're getting overran by like 20 people, and like even this gun, like it's still a good like situation you have to have the equalizer, because you can just hold an RT and just spray back and forth. But the Eraser, I guess, has a quicker time to kill, because it's obviously a one shot compared to the equalizer, which is like probably like a 3 or 4 or 5 shot. Like the gun shoots really quick, but it also like it obviously mows really quick, because I don't really know how many shots it takes to kill with the equalizer, but it doesn't take that many. And it's also firing really quick, so like you wouldn't even notice that it takes that many. Like it really, like they probably kill, like obviously the Eraser kills quicker, just considering the fact that it's a one shot. And the cool thing is, I guess you could say about the Eraser compared to like the Annihilator, is that you don't have to wait that time between each shot and stuff like that. So it's definitely, I think the Eraser is definitely better than the Annihilator, but the trade back that is that you can't get collaterals with it. So like you can only hit one person at a time. So you're like I don't know, but overall you can comment what you guys think below, and like whatever, like it's just like even if you think like the Steel Dragon is better, like the laser rifle, because I didn't include that in top 2, but I think that one's pretty good also. But I think out of the 2, definitely the Equalizer is better. I think it just has to be overall. It's just better because it's so much easier to use, and it's just an absolute fucking melt machine. It's crazy how good it is. So obviously, as I said, leave a comment of what you guys think, and what you think of overall of like Infinite Warfare. I thought it was like pretty fun so far. I mean, I think Black Ops 3 kind of exceeded my expectations because I thought it was just gonna be super futuristic. This game is super futuristic, but I still think it's gonna be fun. It doesn't really remind me super much of COD, but I'll just go back to Modern Warfare Remastered if I want that. So subscribe if you guys want to see some Modern Warfare Remastered and Infinite Warfare gameplay a shit ton once the actual game comes out. And next weekend when the beta for the Xbox One comes out, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, because this did take me some time to like get all these clips together and like kind of like get some knowledge, I guess you could say, about the two weapons and like watch gameplay. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Have a great day. Goodbye. I love you.